Hey guys, how you doing? Hey, so there's a couple of ways you can play SpaceX. I try to do it with limit orders on IPO day. I tried to get in at the IPO price, and didn't get any filled before. I didn't get any fills at all before SpaceX just ran up. Right now, it's currently pulling back, so I've been eyeballing some things and how I might trade SpaceX, and it's in price discovery. It's very volatile. So, with that being considered, I haven't played any of these plays except for one. I'm going with the curve fund, basically XSHP. I literally just bought one share on the dip, and that's how I'm going to trade it for now until there's price discovery on SpaceX. And what I'm looking for is time. So I'm looking for what it's going to do over time and where it's going to dip to, and what kind of, if whether or not it's going to follow averages, which I kind of doubt because SpaceX is so volatile. But if you look at the options on SpaceX and you look at the implied volatility that's listed up here, it's at over 100, about 100% right now, right? And then we go out in distance, even out to, say we go out to January of next year, that implied volatility is still real up. And so because of that, these covered call type of option based income funds from Curve, like Airship, that volatility is going to decide how much the premiums are going to be. They're going to be massive. So, with that being said, I'm only going to buy it during significant drops, intraday drops for SpaceX, where X ship pulls back. So I'm dollar cost averaging it slowly. That's why I just basically just picked up one share, because SpaceX is still going to be in price discovery and heavily traded for some time. So you got to be kind of cautious going forward. The other ways you could trade SpaceX, if you don't want to just buy it outright, outside of what I'm doing with the Curve fund, because I like income and I'm playing on that implied volatility because the premiums are going to be juicy. The other ways you could play is you could go long or short with 2x leverage ETFs. SPACs at the top of this list, that's one of them. The other one is SPCH. They both have option tables now, and they're growing. And if you look at SPACs, it's got 4 million in daily trading volume, which is pretty significant considering that this fund just came out on June 12th. Assets under management aren't that big, but the volume is pretty large. Let's look at the option table real quick. You'll see on the option table, there's some interest, not a lot. And we'll look at the other long fund and see what it's doing as far as volume. The volume on that is 1.24 million. If we look at total assets, doesn't make any sense. So there's 15 on there. We can look at the options table, see if there's any open interest, and you see a little bit more in the open interest and volume for at the money strikes for this one. Now, I don't really use leverage too often, but you could hedge if you were going to go in and buy SpaceX on down A's, and SpaceX is right here, and it's down significantly from its high. If you were to buy the dip on this and you wanted to hedge at all, you could always pick up the short, the 2x short, which had a good bounce today because SpaceX pulled back. And that's a 2 times leverage play shorting SpaceX. And the only way I would short SpaceX is, actually, I want it to be perfectly honest, but I'd probably use that short ETF. I want to try to short it directly or buy options against it, because these options are very expensive for SpaceX. If you're going to buy a put at the money at about a 190 strike, you can see how much money that would cost you. You got to multiply that 660 on that last trade by 100 shares, because that's what it represents, one contract. That'd be $660 for the 18th of June expiration. A lot of open interest and stuff like that. So instead of trading options SpaceX, I'm going to wait for it to get in the price range. I'm going to see if it respects moving averages. So the only way I'm going to trade it currently is with buying shares slowly, deliberately during significant pullbacks. I'm going to buy shares of XSHP, the Curve Fund, because I like income anyway. So that's the way I plan to trade this. This just came out, actually. I couldn't find it on my dividend calculator thing, and we didn't even bring it up as a valid stock yet. It just came out literally like a day or so ago. Anyway, there's ways you could play SpaceX. If I was going to buy SpaceX directly, I'd want to probably hedge it some kind of way. maybe buy the short ETF on it, SSPC, to hedge a little bit. But to be perfectly honest, because it's still so new and I'm waiting for where it's going to show up on price action, how it's going to respect moving averages before going in and tackling it with the options or anything else. That's why I decided to stick with the curve fund, FSHP. All right, guys, take care. Bye.